My name is Devoe Sherman, formerly known as the business plan dude.
What's the business plan? Explain that to me. How you got that name and what does that mean to you?
Yeah, so the reason I call myself the business plan dude is because it's so important to have a business plan, right? When you think about you're thinking about building something from the ground up, right? So there's a step-by-step process on how to do that. So the importance of having a business plan is to look at from 3 to 5 years. Where do I see myself? Where do I see the business? What type of logo do I want? What does the branding look like? Am I going to expand? Am I going to have a franchise type of model? What does it look like within that 3 to 5 year range? And that's the whole importance of having that, because what you're doing is you're planning it step by step. And at Sherman's Consulting Firm, that's what we do. We help build your business plan brick by brick so you can understand your legal, your marketing, your HR, your operations, and all that stuff, because it's so very important in order to have a successful, plan, because here's the thing. I always tell people this, right? If you want to have something that is sustainable, right, you have to think long term. A lot of us are running around trying to get the money, but then when we have the money, we don't know what to do with the money, right? Because we don't have a strategy in place. So that's why the business plan is so important, because it's literally going to outline everything that you want to do for your business. And that's the whole purpose of it. And there's a lot of people that are out there that are just running record. There's, as you can see, there's a lot of, crashes, that's happening, and especially in Cincinnati right now, and that's what's happening. A lot of people are just crashing into each other because, everybody's trying to offer 10, 20 different services. But again, if you focus on, I always tell people to at least focus on 1 to 2 services. So after you maximize those, and after you get those, to where, like, after you get those kind of like complete and you maximize it to the fullest potential, then you'll start to see more results, especially from a monetary standpoint, and people will actually know you as, oh, Devoe, you're the business plan dude, like, and I'm wearing it as a billboard. You'll see me in the videos with the shirt, because it's everything that you do is a part of your branding, it's a part of your marketing. But we as business owners have to start to understand that, right? And even when you're thinking about, I think about COVID-19, I think about how that just made everyone just on edge, right? A lot of us, a lot of it was already hanging from the cliff, right? We were just waiting on the cliff to crumble. You know what I mean? So, but it forced us to really realize, is it business proof? Like, when a recession come, when the Great Depression come, when things really started to, fall down like the rain, what is going to happen to the actual business, right? Because I always tell people, you can have a passionate-based business, right? But passion is great, but if you don't have a needs-based business, something that everybody almost needs, like it's in demand, right? It's in high demand, then, it's going to be hard to run that particular business, because it's great, but I always say have a balance between having that passion, but also have something that's needs-based as well. So when you mix the two, yes, you love what you do, but there's also a need for it, right? So when I'm telling myself I'm the business plan dude, I know there are people out there that need business plans, right? So when you see me, whether you're on Facebook, TikTok, whatever, right? You're always going to see me talk about business plans. But I always tell people there are steps before you even get to the business plan, because again, we're talking about a whole plan, right? And we're literally planning out our lives. And a lot of times where we come from, we don't think about planning out anything, right? And particularly for me, where I come from, right? Didn't really plan out anything, right? It was I just did it like Nike. I'm just gonna do it. If it happens, the way I wanted it to happen, cool. But if not, it is what it is. And that's how you have to think about when you're talking about your business plan, right? there's certain risks to every industry that you get yourself into, okay? And a lot of that comes with understanding, like, okay, if I get in this industry, what is the size of the industry? What does the people look like? How do they buy? What are the buying patterns? Who is my competition? What's the size of the market? How big is it? What's the population? What are the demographics? Who are these people that I'm going to target, right? So when you think about that from a marketing standpoint, now you're getting into the gist of understanding, like, okay, who your customers are. And I always tell people this, even when you're dealing with customers, you need to be able to engage with the customers, right? And we think about our levels. How are our levels of engagement? Are we engaging with them from an email standpoint, where we're creating newsletters? Are we engaging with them from a texting standpoint, to where we're sending out updates, where we're telling them about our business, where we're asking them, hey, how you're doing? Hope your day is going well, right? We have these systems in place to where everything is on automation, right? Everything is automated to where we don't have to necessarily be sitting at the desk typing and sending out emails, texts, and doing all these other things, right? Because time is money. That's what it all equates to. Time is money, but how are you utilizing your time to where it's going to, generate the revenue, but also have it to where it's going to balance out between, yes, you need money, but you also need time to think about things, right? You need time to be creative. You need time to figure out other ways to have multiple streams of income. You need time to hire people. You need time to figure out, partnerships and to develop them in a way to where you can begin to leverage them, right? Because I know this, and if I don't know anything, I know this. I know with everything that I've been through, right? I'm here because, one, I've been able to leverage the relationships that I have. Even being in a space like this, free of charge, because of the partnership that I have, and a lot of times when we think about partnerships, there's a variety of different ways of how you can partner with somebody. Again, all of this stuff that I'm talking about, it's literally going to be in the business plan, right? Because think about it like this. If I'm an investor, right, and let's say I wanted to give you $100,000, let's just say that. The key thing with the business plan is it's saying that, hey, this is how we're going to make money, but we need your money to make us more money. The investor says, okay, well, how are you going to do that? Well, it's in a plan. Okay, well, what does the plan actually say? Well, the plan says we have this amount of cash flow, we have X amount of assets, we have collateral that matches the $100,000 that you're going to give us. So now, me as an investor, if you default on the loan, I know if you don't have the cash flow, but you have the collateral and the assets, I know for sure if I give you this money, you're going to pay it back, either through the collateral, which are your assets, or through the cash flow that you have, right? Because the investor is going to say, well, it looked like to me you have a healthy financial company, meaning that the cash flow, the revenue that you're bringing in, it supersedes the liabilities that you have, right? And your assets are constantly making money for you, right? So now you have multiple streams of income coming into the business, and now your business model says, hey, now you're looking at your business model and you're saying, hey, what are some other things that we can do to make money? Because that's what your business model says. All it says is, hey, how do we make money, and who do we target so we can make us some money? And how much does it cost to reach that particular customer? But then also, on again, we want to limit our marketing efforts, right? We want to reduce that, right? Because it's all about staying on top, right? And it's all about, if I get this money, how do I maximize it, double it, flip it, and triple it, and whatever, right? So I always tell people, look at your customer acquisition. Once you acquire their customer, they need to do business with you on a recurring basis, to where you're not trying to acquire and put out more marketing dollars, right? And I'll tell you this, I've seen it so many times, and people want to put out so much money, right? Because they have the money, but then I'm telling them like, look, if you focus on the customer, the client base that you have, right, you don't have to go out and get any customers, right? If you're making your customer happy and they're getting a return on their investment, it doesn't make sense to try to acquire more customers, right? Because you're improving now what you're doing, you're improving their lifestyle. Now they're making more money. Now their mental health is in good shape because you're taking the weight off their shoulders, right? So now they feel better about life. They feel better. They can move around. They can move around. They can do more things with their time, right? They can spend their money more wisely because now they trust you with their dollars, right? So again, when you're thinking about this and we just bring it all back full circle, now you have happy customers, you have a great solid investor, right? Because now you understand capital and you know what to do with the money once you get it. Because you have a business plan that's literally planned out, outlined out to where if you want to go to a bank, you want to go to an investor, you want to go to a group of friends, or just anyone, right? You feel comfortable because the numbers will literally speak for themselves, right? Because again, your business is business proof, and you also have a great business model and a great concept to where you don't need to prove anything. It's proof. The proof is in the pudding. It says it. It says it on paper. It says it on social media. So now you don't have to prove anything. Now you just need to show them. Now you just need to show them like, hey, I gave you money back. I made me some more money, and now I need more. Right now it's just rinse and repeat. That's all it is. So I'll tell you this: if you don't have a plan, then you plan to fail. That's what it's about. If you don't have a plan, then you plan to fail. But now we're in a time to where you have someone, you have a company that can actually build what you want for you. Now it's about taking that step and say, hey, I need a business plan. I'm gonna put my pride to the side. Just build it for me, and that's what we'll do. And I'll tell you this. There's so many phases, when it comes to actually building out the actual plan, right? There's a written portion, you have your executive summary, your mission, your goals, objectives, business description, your legal, marketing, and all that stuff, right? That's the written version. And then the second phase of it, let's just say if you wanted a commercial space, right? You'll need a real estate commercial agent, right? To put the blueprint inside. Or let's just say if you wanted to actually build it from the ground up, then you'll need to hire an architectural, firm to actually map out and build it from the ground up, right? So there's going to be a construction phase. So there's going to be different phases when it comes to certain things like that. And then the third phase, and I have to always tell people, there's the financial portion of it, right? You're talking about cash flow, income statement form, balance sheet, break-even analysis. All those things, again, income statement form, all those things are important when you're talking about, again, how do I measure the success of my company? Is it financially healthy? Is it risky? What type of risk level does my company have? Is it low, medium, or high, right? And again, when you're looking at your industry, when you're looking at your finances, those are some of the things that you need to look at. Okay, and especially when it comes to just getting back to the financial part, you need to have an accountant, a CPA, so they can actually do the financials. Again, all of this stuff I'm saying will save you time and money. Okay, anybody and everybody could build a business plan, but do you have time to, right? But again, that's where I come in and play. I save you time and money by building your business plan brick by brick so that you don't have to do it. You don't have to worry. You don't have to do any research or anything. You just give me the information. I research the information. I put it in a plan and literally build it for you. And that's what Sherman's Consulting Firm, that's what we specialize in. I've been building business plans for over 6 years, coaching, facilitating, you name it. This is what we do. This is our bread and butter, and we love doing it. And that is why I'm the business plan dude, powered by Sherman's Consulting Firm. Thank y'all for tuning in. So I've been in business for about 6 years. And the moment I realized I need a business plan, oh man, and I hate telling the story. The moment I realized I needed it was when I hired someone, and from an HR standpoint, I didn't understand what human resources actually was, right? And when I hired that person, I was paying them like $2,000 a week, right? Ridiculous number, right? Like $2,000 a week. But I didn't, from a fiscal standpoint, from an HR standpoint, I didn't understand if I bring this person into my company, not only do they supposed to help me build up my operations, but that person is supposed to help me generate revenue. That's why they're there. But again, not understanding business planning and just planning it out, I just went and did it. And thinking that I had it all, I didn't have a plan at all. I just did it because the business was telling me that I needed to have someone, right? But again, when you don't have a plan in place, right? When you don't have that, I call it a SOP, a standard operating procedure in place, to where it's like, okay, Devoe, when you hire this person, then they need to be able to do this. They need to be able to produce this type of revenue for you. That's when I realized, and it was actually in my earlier years, I think it was in my third year in business, that's when I truly realized the importance of having a business plan, and that's when I really started to study it and grasp it and hone in on it, because it like really hit me differently, because I had lost all that money, and it was just like I was just giving it away. Not only did I hire one person, I hired multiple of people, and they were independent contractors and different things like that. But again, from a fiscal standpoint, I didn't have a financial plan. I didn't understand income statement form, although I had the documents, but I didn't understand it, right? I had all the information because I studied the information, but I didn't apply it. I didn't implement it. I didn't know the importance of it. I didn't think it was paramount at all. I just thought, okay, I got these forms, give it to my accountant, she do her thing, I do my thing, everybody go home, I get to, pay this. I was so excited about paying someone. I was so excited about that because I had the money. And I just wanted to, just give it away without a plan. And that's what, it was like and that's what really did it for me. And I'm like, look, I got to do this the right way. I have to have a plan in place. So what I did was I built my own plan. I built it, from the ground up, and, step by step, I built it. And I'm currently, building it out, because your business plan is like a living document. You're going to always go back and build a plan, because that's something that is breathing, it's living. You're going to always go back to it, because here's the thing. We are in a forever, changing, society. Society is going to change, and we have to adapt to we have to adapt to society's needs and wants. And that's just the way it is, right? But do you have the mental fortitude, right? The mental capacity to be able to overcome some of those issues, from a political standpoint? From a political, emotional, social standpoint, do you have the mental fortitude to be able to, succumb and overcome those issues? And again, that's something that I had to learn, and that's a part of being an entrepreneur. That's part of saying, you know what, let me stop playing around with the stuff. Let me stop being the pro and the professional into being a procrastinator and telling myself that I don't need something when I know I need it. And I think a lot of times we do that, right? We doubt ourselves and we say we don't need this when we really do, right? And I understand you may not have the money, but you can go get the money, right? And I always tell myself that I don't have the money, but I know I can go get the money, right? And again, when you have the money, do you have a plan to where you can get more money into where the money can actually start working for you? And that's what I wanted to learn when developing a business plan, right? right? Because I'm looking at, okay, assets, liabilities, don't really understand it, but I know I need assets to make more money, make that passive income. You know what I mean? Like I had all the knowledge. You would think that I would have had a plan by then because I had all the knowledge. Because I studied it, but I didn't implement it. So, and that was the thing that hit home for me. That's why it's important to have one. You can reach out to me by going to shermansconsultingfirm.com, or you can text B plan. Well, but actually not text B plan. Text Plan B to 859-363-6089. Text Plan B to that number, and we will help you build your business plan brick by brick. Hey, so literally walking billboard, right? So a part of being an entrepreneur, this is what it's about. You know, living and breathing and telling people what you do. So when people see it, they're like, "Oh, you build business plans?" Like, yeah, I'm the business plan dude. This is what we do. All right, like so this is what you have to bring your business alive. All right, live it and breathe it, eat it, rinse and repeat. Do all the things above to show people that this is what you do and this is how you do it. And you're serious about building, about doing business and being that serial entrepreneur.
Let's go.
That's it.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.